just pull this out of my back pocket. These are all my
That's
bad
where the ammo's
dates.
kept.
Yeah.
This is the notebook right here.
Handy dandy notebook. All right, so
Number 1.
worst date
Right.
of all time.
Yep.
Let me tell you this one.
All right.
So this is my brother's friend,
Okay.
and
Hey, brother's friend.
like he's fun. He's really cute. He did have a slight red undertone, but he was more of he was a cutie. He was tan enough for me.
Right.
So I was
Tan
like,
enough.
so I was like, okay. And he texted me one day, or maybe it was a call. I forgot. This was like a few years back, and he
Yep.
said, "I got really good tickets to the Mets game."
The Mets.
Yeah, the Mets.
What's Long Island? Is that Yankee territory mostly, or
It's half and half.
50? All right.
Yeah. But I grew up in a Mets household,
Okay.
so I was like, okay, Mets.
So you're down.
Let's do it. So he's like, okay, I'll pick you up, and like these tickets, they included like the coolest lounges and everything in at the Mets game. So I was like, okay, cool. He picks me up, super nice car. He's got a nice black BMW, really clean, really
Power
good.
move.
And he's so good, such a gentleman.
Right.
He opened the door for me. I got in. So good.
How do you feel about that?
I love when guys open
That's
the
a
door for me.
plus.
But you know what I don't like? When they pull out the chair for me, because I'm not used to that. And
Yeah.
when they pull out the chair, I'm
That's
like,
a little
okay,
much, right?
you're just going to sit in that chair, so I'm going to go on the other side.
And then they swing over with you, and then you guys are just playing a bunch of musical chairs.
Not feeling that.
Yeah, that's
So-
not what you want.
So he picks me up, and he's like, okay, I have to get gas.
Yep.
So we go to the gas station. Okay, cool. And then he's like, okay, I have to just take my medicine. I didn't know this medicine was drugs.
Wow. All right.
So
The
he
medicine
gets gas, whatever. He takes
may not
his
be
medicine,
prescribed.
and he drives to the game, and
Uh-oh.
and the exit. I was like, okay, like let's pull off at this exit because this is the exit we have to go to.
Yep.
Drives right past.
Oh.
And I was like, hey, you just missed the exit. And he's like, oh, okay. So I was like, are you okay? I didn't know, like, I thought it was just medicine. I thought he had a flu or something.
Damn.
No. So
That's crazy.
he.
I'm
and
nervous.
Wait. Meanwhile, okay, my mom texts me.
Oh no.
Because my mom met the guy
Right.
and he picked me up.
She knew.
My mom was like, "Don't kiss him. He has a cold sore."
Oh, she
So-
knew.
So
Your
first,
mom's got the court vision of friggin'.
So first, I was like,
Rajon
okay,
Rondo.
that's fine. I won't kiss him. Like, I'm not trying to get the herp.
Wow. Yeah.
So as I was saying, back to the story. We passed the exit,
Yep.
and I was like, "Oh, are you okay? Like, what happened?" He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Like, I passed the exit." I was like, "Oh, okay." So
That's not what you say.
so then there was like the next exit, like a mile up, and he like just completely misses this exit,
Yep.
and I'm like,
He may never stop.
"No."
You
I
guys
was
might
like,
end up in Los Angeles
like,
before it's over.
"You missed the next exit. What happened?" And he was like, like
Whoa.
he didn't know what to say.
What do you think? Is he
I
getting
said-
nervous?
I said, "Pull over right now. Pull over. Pull over right now."
Damn.
I said, "You're not driving anymore." He seemed
Wow.
like he was on something that he literally, like, I didn't want to die. I did not want to
Yeah.
die, and I didn't want to just drive to Manhattan because we were all the way on Long Island,
Yeah.
and he seemed like he just wanted to keep driving and driving.
Yeah, I don't know where.
So, so he pulls over. I
Yep.
get in the driver's seat, and I drive to the
Wow.
Mets game.
He lost his privileges?
Yeah. No, he lost his privileges in his own car.
Dang.
And this is our first date.
Wow.
So
Strong start.
we get there,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Parking's $20." And he's like, okay. So he like gives me all his money. And I was like, "Okay,
All right.
I'll take this one and you hold the rest." So I
Yeah.
gave the guy the $20. We parked, and then he just kept on dropping his money. Like, he dropped his money all over the floor on the way to
Dang.
the stadium. Like, as we were
Whoa.
walking from the parking lot.
You had to hold it for him?
I said, "You dropped your money." So he picked it up. At this point, I was rude. I was
It's-
like, "This is bullshit."
It's not going well.
No. So we get to the seats, and he falls asleep in his seat.
Oh,
And-
wow.
So what I did is I
Dude.
right?
That's a good story. Wait, so what did
It's
you do?
not over.
Did you give
So
him a
I
little...
went up and I got to the security guard and I was like, "Listen, he's fine right where he is. Make sure he's okay to drive home because I don't care if he hurts himself. He's gonna hurt someone else if he gets in the car."
Oh,
So I just left him.
Whew.
First inning.
Wow.
First inning, I left him. Great seats, I just left him. And since we had the ticket that gets into
Dang.
all the lounges,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, let me finesse So you have
Dude.
no idea. So I went to this lounge and
Right.
I met a couple guys.
Yep.
And they were like, okay, like we were just like hanging out and they were buying me drinks and it was just such a good time. And
You turned a negative to a positive.
yeah, I really did. And like after the game we got a few drinks. We like hung out for a little and I was like, okay, I'm going home.
Mm-hmm.
So I went home and I took the train right home.
Yep.
And I was safety first.
Yeah. That's
And
huge.
it was honestly the best. Like, how do you take a shitty date and turn it into something
Yeah.
amazing? Am I allowed to say shitty on the radio?
That's a life lesson.
Is this a radio?
The
Is
FCC.
it a podcast?
The FCC's got
No.
nothing on us.
Unregulated.
Yeah, but yeah, that's beautiful. Honestly,
Have you had a date like that?
that's a story about life.
Yeah.
If I had a bad one, yeah, there was one that was really not great, just because I was a very awkward person in high school. In like middle school, I don't think I said anything for like 3 years, but that changed eventually. But yeah, one time, probably the worst one was last year, in when I was at Gainesville when I was in Florida. And I went out with this one girl, and she was super rude to the waitress, which is not great. Like,
No.
I like people that are outgoing, but
What did she say?
it was she just had her eye on everybody else. Somebody got their food before us, and she was like, "Hey," like I don't know. I think she snapped at her, which is not good, first of all. And then she just had a tone like kind of entitled. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
this
I mean,
person.
Gainesville, like,
This person's just the
I'm
messenger.
sure there's some rich at your school.
There might be. There's some characters, but yeah, she just kind of talks to the waitress in a way that I used to be a busboy, and so I wouldn't really talk
Yeah.
to people like that per se. And there was a certain tone, and it was kind of condescending. So we eventually got our stuff, but that kind of put a bad taste in things. But so then we meet up with a couple of her friends later.
Okay, so
And
it went beyond the date. Why didn't you just ditch her at the restaurant?
It was a red flag, but it wasn't like the hard red. You know what I mean? It
Mhm.
wasn't like the taking your medicine on the way to the Mets game per se.
No, yeah.
But so we go somewhere else, and we're hanging out with a couple of our friends, which were very cool guys. One of them actually lived in the
Wait.
same building that I did,
So, you met with guys, her guy friends. Were
Yeah.
there any girlfriends?
which was fine. No, they were cool, honestly. Yeah, I liked it better because it kind of
Red flag.
It diffused some of her attention. Yeah, that probably is a red flag
Yeah.
looking back. So if that were to happen again, I may sprint away.
Yeah.
But so we end up going to somewhere else. We start at one bar and Uber somewhere else, and one of her buddies like tries to finesse the Uber driver. He's like, "Oh, can I give you cash to drive me home?" And so I don't know what happened to him. Hopefully he's
Still
happy
alive.
and
Hopefully he's
doing
still
good
with
stuff.
us.
And then her other buddy was sticking with us. So we go into this one bar, and the bartender there is a girl that she used to know. And apparently they had beef, which, surprise. But so her friend used to talk to that girl or whatever. But she's like, "Hey, you better not talk to this girl because there's going to be a problem because I don't like her like that." You know what I mean? And so obviously he goes over and talks to her right away. And he's flirting with her or whatever, which I have no idea who these people are or what this girl did.
You had no friends with you. It was just
Nope.
you, her, and her friends.
Yes. Yep.
You should have called for backup.
I know. Yeah, if I'd known you at the time, I would have flown
Yeah.
you in from the Mets game.
Oh,
but
thanks. I would have been there.
yeah, so she ends up coming back, and she's like, "Oh, like, you can't believe you did that to me. Like, that's so disrespectful. I told you not to talk to her. I hate that girl, whatever." So she leaves. She's out. She's outside the building, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, maybe she'll come back. I've never been in this situation before. She wasn't like, "Oh, hey, Sean, like, come with me. Like, we're out of here." She just left. And then, so I'm chilling talking to this guy because he's fine, normal
Yeah.
dude. And, like, I have no problem with him talking to whoever he wants to talk to. I don't know these people. But she texts me. I get a text on my phone. She's like, "Oh, like, F you for, for staying in there. Like, you chose him over me, all this stuff." And I
Her
can't
friend,
believe.
you chose her friend
I'm like,
over her.
Yeah, I'm like, you brought these people around, and I like hanging out with them. We were just hanging out. It was no big deal. I don't know what the deal is with you and him and whatever. She just like was popping off, and she's like, "I can't believe you did that. It's super disrespectful." And I'm like, "Well, you didn't even tell me where you were going or if you were coming back. I don't know what's happening." And yeah, so I just like I text her back or whatever. She comes back in. I was like, oh yeah, just come back in. Like we were just hanging out. I thought maybe she had one beverage too many, and she comes back in and they get into it. Her and her friend.
No way.
Like in front of me, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. Like I can't. I'm
You should've
terrible.
Just left.
I'm terrible.
Why did it even
Okay.
come this far?
I'm terrible with conflict, and so I just go to the bathroom. I walk back, and they're still talking or whatever, and she's like, yeah,
I would've
what?
dipped.
Like she said something, and I was like, all right, yeah, I feel weird. Like I'm just gonna go. So I go, and I'm like, all right, this girl, she might follow me. She like kind of knew where I lived at. So
Where did you meet?
on the internet.
Perfect.
On
Tinder,
Hinge.
Hinge.
On Hinge, yeah.
All right.
But yeah, and this was like the second date. We had the first date the day before.
Mm-hmm.
But so
Oh, this was the second date? How did
Yeah.
the first date go?
it was okay. She was a little bit like not demanding, but assertive. But
Like,
I
more
took her.
assertive than me?
We went to this one bar, and then she actually met some of my classmates in the MBA program,
Okay.
which
Was
was fine. She acted
she
normal.
an
She
undergrad?
talked to other people. Yeah, but she was like. Agree. No. But yeah. So I go, and I'm like, this girl might find me again. So I turn the opposite way of where my apartment is, and I'm power walking away. And as I'm doing that, I start getting called. She called me like 12 times in a row.
That's a
which
red
is-
flag in
Which
itself.
is a lot. And she texts me a bunch. She's like, oh, I don't know, just all this stuff.
Was
and
she
I was
cute?
like,
She better have been
She
for
was-
that
she was over-
second subpar first date.
she was over 6 feet. We'll just say that. But
Yeah?
yeah. So it met the criteria. But dude, so
She's
I'm going
big.
out of my way. Luckily, I see one of my buddies who like used to be in the military, and I'm talking to him about all that went down, and I'm like, yeah, this girl might find me or whatever. So we walk all the way out of the way to my apartment. I walk like half a mile past my apartment, go to McDonald's, and I wait it out, and then I swing around back by
Did you call for backup
to
at
get
any
where I
point?
live. No, did not call for backup, but in the future that'll be part of the
I
escape
think
plan.
girls and guys think differently.
Yeah.
If I was in that situation, I would not
Oh,
even
that's
have
true.
gone out after the date. Because you have no obligation. Like, this is
Yep.
first, second date. Like,
That's true.
If it's not going well, I'm
Mhm.
sorry. You have fun. I'm out.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah, you're probably right.
So,
I feel more, maybe that's bad. I feel more obligated.
yeah, don't feel obligated.
Maybe that's just how I was raised, or
No, because
my
you
genetics.
have nothing. You don't owe her anything. Like,
that's true.
this is just you trying to get to know her.
Yeah.
And obviously, that first date wasn't great. And she should be lucky that she even got a second date with you.
That's a good attitude.
Right? She
I
should be
take that more.
lucky.
You're right.
Right? You're a great guy. Like, why?
Thank you.
I don't understand. I would just. If I was there,
Game over.
I
I would call you for
confronted her.
backup.
I would
Yeah.
have confronted her. And
I know you would.
I would have put her in her place.
Yeah, which is
And I
fine.
don't
Someone
even
probably
think
needs
she
to.
would not have even said anything back to me. I
Yeah,
promise you.
probably not. Well, she might have said something, but maybe not.
Was she drunk?
A little bit
Like during your date or both and after?
during
Okay.
the first one. There was another red flag, but
Yeah. Red flags.
we may not talk about that on
I-
here. It was pretty bad. I should. You're right.
yeah.
But I thought it was a one-time red flag, but it ended up being a
It ended at that.
ended up being
that
a
day,
two-time
right?
red flag, and
No
we're
more after
we're
that?
still together. So it's a
No.
long distance though. It's working out really well.
No,
and-
actually, she's incarcerated for chopping
Sorry,
up
state
her ex-boyfriend.
of yes. We don't talk about that. You can look her up online at no.
Inmate number C523.
That's not an accurate inmate number. But all right. So I think we covered a lot. But yeah, that was one of mine. That didn't end well. But I got a lot of text messages that I did not keep for I don't know, some kind of reasons, and I showed them to friends later, and they were like, "Yeah, that's good thing you got out of there."
Yeah, I'm
They
curious.
were like, "Hey, we're lucky you're
Yeah.
alive, man."
After we cut this off, I really want to hear more about this first date red flags that
All right,
you've heard.
All right, we might be able to talk about that later. Maybe it'll resurface on other episodes of the podcast. So
Yeah.
we'll see.